Welcome to the Property Renovation Podcast with your host, James Woodham, giving you the best tips on achieving the perfect renovation whilst making it as fun, safe and as cost-effective as possible by hearing from experts in the industry and people that have been through the experience themselves. Let me introduce your host, 3 times award winner of leading renovation website House and over 15 years in the industry, renovating just over 200 properties, James Woodham.
Hi guys, welcome to the Property Renovation Podcast. Just before I start waffling on about this, what this podcast is about, it's called Don't Wait Until the Last Minute. And I thought that it would be quite appropriate. I've listened and spoke to quite a few people now, quite a few homeowners that have found themselves in a situation where they have got their builder on site and the builder is telling them, look, you need to have this or this tomorrow. I want it tomorrow, if not today. And that's just not the way to do things. I think what you can find yourself in a situation like that, it could end up being quite costly to you. It could destroy the relationship between you and your builder. The builder is counting down the days when he's thinking about finishing the project, when she's thinking about finishing the project. And, they don't want to be standing around thinking, they're not being able to work tomorrow, if you don't have the right materials on site. Or you suddenly realize that the materials that you have got that you want them to install, you're not happy with them and you want to change them. So it's best, just to do all of your research from the beginning. I've got a few steps and few ideas, what you can do to avoid those situations occurring. And then, if you follow this, then you're going to have a better relationship. Your project's going to be finished in time, and you're going to have less stress. So, first of all, this is being shown as the video side of the podcast in our private Facebook group, which is called facebook.com/groups/the Property Renovation Podcast. And I just want to say that everyone in this group, thank you very much for following us and coming into the group. We need a lot more activity. Please share your renovation photos. Ask any questions that you've got about your renovation. Maybe you're stuck on something and you need to figure it out. There are people there that can answer your questions. So please, let's start getting it a bit more active. We've got a few people in there now, so it would be good just to see what is going on within your homes. So first thing, do your research when you're looking for products. And what I mean by that is understand the lead times of the suppliers. People are surprised sometimes when they love a particular product and then they go to buy it and then they find out that there's a 4-week lead time. And that might not fall within your project, so it's not going to work. Then you've got to refund it and you've got to find an alternative. So do all of check all the terms and conditions, give them a call, find out if the product is in the UK or in the country that you're in, because that's the most important thing. If it's not, then there's definitely going to be a few weeks on the lead time there. Look at the reviews of the products and of the companies that provide them as well. I've spoken to homeowners that have found themselves in an experience dealing with what they thought were a large supplier of bathroom or kitchen, and then find out that their customer service is just appalling. And you don't want to find yourself in that position. So do your research. There are companies out there that review, like Trustpilot and stuff like that, and they give honest reviews. Don't just look at the first few and then be happy. Go through a few pages and find out if there are any negatives. If there are 1 or 2 negatives, that's fine. That just means that the company's being honest and they're giving a balanced review of their company. But if there are none and they're just 5 stars all the way through, then I'd be a little bit suspicious on that one. Get samples to make your choices. There's nothing better than finding something, in the flesh so that you can actually have a look at it and, feel the texture of it and look at the shade and put it up against the wall or the floor just to find out that, you can make an informed decision and know that you're going to be happy with this. It's going to be there for a long time. So you want to make sure it's the right choice. So get samples Get as many samples as you can. There's a lot of companies that will happily deliver you samples for free, probably up to 3 or 5 of them, and then they'll charge for a few more after that. So just get a load and then make a decision. Write on the back of them where they're from. If they haven't got a sticker already, write on the back of them where they're from, what shade that is, what product number that is, what model that is, so that you can just, so you know where you're going with it all. Plan a few days in advance, plan weeks in advance, go to shops. A lot more stuff is being done online now these days, but there are still some great shops out there. And I think it's worth to just go and have a look and check the products out. They're probably being set up in a situation where they've got other bits of products, like a setup, like a fake setup of a room, so that you can really understand what it's going to look like in your property as well, and what it looks like up against other products there as well. So, and you can, again, rather than picking up the phone, you can actually speak to someone in person, and they can talk you through any questions and concerns you've got about that particular product, why it's good, why it's not good, those kinds of things, and explain what you're going to be using it for as well, so that they can advise you the best they can. Note the supplier's return policy. Again, go back to the terms and conditions, look at the returns policy, just to understand what you're going to be in for. Because if you are not happy with a product and it arrives, there are some return policies where they say if you don't notify them within the first 24 to 48 hours, then you are not going to be able to return it. So you've wasted a lot of money that way. Some customers want them in the original packaging, and there are builders out there that will open something up and chuck the original packaging away. So you just want to make sure that you understand what their return policy is. Could you lose any money? How long do you have until you can notify them of any damage? And is there like a 30-day returns policy where you get your full money back? Or is there a restocking charges of 20 or 15 or 20% or something like that? So really try to understand that and look at the returns policy. And the delivery times and slots. People are still surprised that, there are these 5-hour slots out there where you can get something delivered, but you have to go to work. Your builder might not be there. He might be going to get some materials. And the slots can be anything from 7 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. And most builders finish at 4, 5 o'clock. So, just look at the delivery time slots, try to understand when they're going to be able to deliver, and then plan accordingly. Write it in the schedule, let your builder know. Give the delivery company your builder's number so you can make sure that you're not in a situation where you're in a meeting at work and you can't answer the phone, they can't get access, and they have to plan another day. Is there any discontinued products out there? So maybe I'll put you in a situation, you go online, you like a product and you think, yep, I'll have that. Now, you don't want to buy it right there and then, you put it in the basket and then you go back the week after to purchase it and you find out that it's discontinued. And then you're back to square one, you have to find out for another product and another style. So have a look, give them a call, give them an email and say to them, is this product going to be discontinued within the next few weeks? And how many do you have left in stock? Because then you can plan accordingly, and you might have to part with your money right there and then, or you could just wait a week or so. Are there any variations in color and size? Are there there are these small prints where they say, the product that you see on the website might not be the exact product that you're going to receive. But you might not like the one that you do receive. So you do want to make sure that you understand that there are maybe some variations in color and size, just so that you're fully aware. Schedule the deliveries and the lead times, just to make sure that you are making your builder fully aware of the scope of the works and how long things are going to take. Ask your builder when they need things. That's really, really important, because you don't want to deliver everything on site all in one go if you haven't got the space. If you've got a spare room, then great, you can do that. But if you haven't, you're going to be in a situation where you need to rely on the information from your builder. So you need to ask them, when do you need this thing on site? Give me some dates so that then I can plan accordingly. And even with the dates, just be a little bit generous with that as well. Maybe book a day before or so. And then last is like physically check the orders when required. Before they're required, sorry. So basically, you don't want your builder opening up a box on the day that he needs it and find that it's broken or it's damaged or it's the wrong product or it doesn't have all the parts or something like that. Because that could be quite costly. They may have within their contract that if they're not being able to do something on your property, then they're going to charge you for loss of being able to do something. So you want to make sure that you check the products, open them up, make sure that it's the right thing. Do it in an evening when you get home from work. Just open up the product, make sure it's the right thing. Maybe make sure that your builder is there with you just so that they can confirm as well. That's it. I think there are some really good things there that will help you out. Just remember that it's all about communication. So as long as you communicate with your builder, as long as you make the effort to speak to your suppliers, I don't think you're going to have a problem. Just before I go, I just want to mention that we've got something exciting coming up. So on the 31st of October, we're going to be launching the Akiva Toolkit. I have been mentioning it a few times now, but it's a website where you'll be able to go on and download 10 documents that can simplify your entire project. If you've never done a project before, it can be very daunting. There's a lot of information, a lot of considerations you need to make, and we have created 10 documents to hopefully simplify that for you, making sure that then your product, you have a high chance in your project coming in on time and on budget. So have a look. It's akivatoolkit.com, and the downloads will go live on the 31st of October. You can download the first one for free if you just give us your email address, and it's the A to Z guide to the perfect renovation. It's a blueprint to the perfect renovation. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much.